and welcome back to my channel. Or if you're new here, hi, my name is Nesli and I'm a pattern maker. Today we are going to sew a fabric crown for kids for Honey and Sugar. It's a fun and quick sew, and honestly, who doesn't need a crown in their life? So the pattern comes in 3 sizes. Small one is for little babies, and medium is for toddlers, and large is for the bigger ones. So royalty from all ages are covered. And the pattern comes with layers, which is great. You can just click off anything, any size you don't need. Otherwise, it kind of looks like one of those treasure maps with a lot of tangled lines going everywhere. So, layers, perfect. You can make this crown with fabric straps that come in pattern, but if you want to make it quicker, even quicker than it already is, you can make it with some ribbons. And if you feel like it, you can add pom-poms, totally optional, but I mean, pom-poms are kinda hard to say no to. And the best part is of this crown, it is so soft thanks to the wadding inside, and it is so easy to wear thanks to the straps behind. Kids can use it for their birthdays, for their playtime, or just running around declaring themselves the prince or princess of the living room. And if you made my last pattern, which is a butterfly wings pattern, you can pair them up with this crown for the ultimate dress-up combo. I think the kids are gonna love them. And if you haven't made or seen the video, you can go ahead and check that one out as well. Alright, if your fabric, your interfacing, your wadding, and also your pom-poms are ready, let's start sewing.
Let's start by cutting out all of our fabric pieces. After laying my fabric with the wrong side facing up, I fold it just enough so my pattern will fit, and then smooth it out nicely. Then I place my pattern on top. There isn't only one correct way to place the pattern on the fabric. You can lay it on a single layer or on fold, but make sure you cut the correct number of pieces. Just follow the quantities written on the pattern. You can use my method to cut the zigzag edge. First, cut the slanted edges on one side one by one. Then, cut the opposite slants. It makes it easier, at least for me. I'm also cutting my strap pieces. And make sure to transfer every little notch onto the fabric. These tiny marks will help us a lot later when placing the straps. Now let's cut our fusible interfacing. I recommend a heavyweight non-woven interfacing because it gives the crown nice stiffness and helps hold it in place. Use the type that's usually found in short collars and cuffs. You can use the same method here as well to cut the zigzag edge. Wadding is the fluffy layer that adds volume and softness. I recommend something around 100-120 grams per square meter. For the wadding we are cutting the same again, but this time about 3-4 cm bigger all the way around. Don't worry, we'll trim it back later, because when sewing the fabric and the wadding together there can be a slight shifting. Doing it this way just makes it easier to sew. Here we have 2 layers of the crown piece. Take one of them and lay your fusible interfacing with the glue side facing up. Place the crown piece on top with the wrong side of the fabric touching the glue side of the interfacing. Since my fabric is gauze and quite fiddly, I first need to pin it in a few places to secure it. I align the edges and then pin here and there to hold it steady. After that, I flip it over so the right side of the interfacing is facing up. This is the side I need to press from because fusible interfacings are always ironed this way. As I go, I remove the pins one by one and press those areas too. Just make sure to check your interfacing instructions for the right iron temperature and pressing time. See how much stiffer and more structured it looks now? The one without interfacing is really drapey in comparison. Now place your interface crown piece right side up on top of the wadding. Pin the layers together in a few spots to keep everything from shifting. And now baste all the way around, sewing about 5 mm inside the edge. Just follow the outline closely. You can simply guide your presser foot along the raw edge of the fabric and sew all the way around. This step secures your fabric and wadding together so they act like one piece. Alright, go ahead and remove the pins. Then trim away the extra wadding, carefully following the outline so it's nice and neat. You can use the same method here as well to cut the zigzag edge. Okay, let's move on to the straps. Again, I have two of the same and I'm taking one away. I turn it to the right side. If you look closely, you'll see notches at the center of both short ends of the strap piece and also at the center of the long edges. Fold it lengthwise, right sides together, lining up the long raw edges, starting by matching up the notches first. I pin it in a few spots all the way along the edge. Sew along the long edge and one of the short edges with a 1 cm seam allowance. And don't touch the other short edge, leave it as it is. Trim the corner of the sewn short edge diagonally, stopping about 2-3 mm away from the stitching, so it doesn't create bulk inside when we turn it over. Next, turn the strap right side out. You can use a loop turner or even a chopstick, whatever works best for you. I use my fingers to wiggle the seam line out, pushing it all the way to the edge so it shows nicely. Then I give it a good press with the iron to flatten and smooth everything out. Repeat the same steps for your second strap. When you're done, you should have two matching straps, both with one short edge is open and the other is closed. Now let's attach them to the crown. There are two notches on the right and two on the left. These are the spots where we'll place the straps. Place one strap with its open raw edge between the two notches on the right. Then, place the other strap between the two notches on the left. Again, I align the raw edges with the edge of the crown and pin it securely. Then stitch across these strap placements, sewing 5 mm inside the edge. Just be sure to stay within the 1 cm seam allowance. Now take the other crown piece without interfacing and place it with the wrong side facing up. Then we'll mark a 1 cm seam allowance along the zigzag edge. Using a ruler, I measure 1 cm in from the edge and draw a parallel line all the way along the zigzag. Of course, it's not a must. You can also do it with a measuring tape if you don't have a ruler like this. I do recommend this ruler, definitely. This marking will really help when sewing the zigzag edge of the two crown pieces together. Make your lines long enough so they intersect, this way you'll know exactly where to pivot when sewing. Gather the strap at the exact center of the crown so they don't spill past the edges. Now place the second crown piece on top, right sides together. Align all the edges and match the notches. Pin all the way around. Now leave an 8-10 cm cap at the bottom edge to the side so you can turn the crown right side out later. Sew with a 1 cm seam allowance. Take your time here. Sewing sharp turns can be tricky. A slower pace will give you much cleaner lines and make the finish look more professional. And there we go! We've stitched all the way around, leaving a little opening for turning later. At the bottom corners, make small triangle trims into the seam allowance, stopping about 2-3 mm away from the stitching. Now we are going to trim the tips of each sharp corner. Cut off tiny triangle at the top, as close as you can without cutting into the seam. Without these clips, the corners won't show properly once the piece is turned. And every inward corner makes small clips into the seam allowance so the sharp turns will show properly once we turn it right side out. If you skip this step, the edges won't look crisp. You can also trim the seam allowance down to its half width. Don't cut too close to the seam, about 5 mm away is safe. Do this only along the zigzag edge. And if you want to do it all the way around, just make sure to keep the full 1 cm seam allowance at the opening so we can close it neatly later. Now, turn the crown right side out through the opening. This step can feel a little tricky, so take your time and go slowly. It'll be fine. If you're working with a delicate fabric, be especially gentle. Instead of pulling hard on the fabric, push the whole piece through the opening to flip it. Once turned, use your fingers to carefully push out the seams so the edges look smooth and clean. Roll the sharp points between your fingers to really push them outward and make them stand out. After you have done this all the way around the edge, move to the opening. Fold both 1 cm seam allowances to the inside. First, fold in the seam allowance on one side of the opening and pin it in place. Thanks to the stitching on either side, it will naturally want to fold inwards. Then flip the piece over and do the same with the seam allowance on the other side of the opening, folding it to the inside and pinning it securely. After that, bring the two layers together. Align the edges carefully and pin them to each other. Place the two layers neatly on top of each other and pin them to keep them from shifting. As you go, remove the pins that are left underneath so they don't get in the way. Again, run your fingers all the way along the edge to wiggle out the seam line. Make sure the seam line that joins the two layers sits right on the very edge, so it isn't visible from the front and the back. As you smooth it out with your fingers, keep adjusting the fabric so the seam stays in place, and pin carefully all along the edge to hold everything exactly where it should be. Time for the top stitch. Sew 5 mm inside the edge all the way around. Just guide your presser foot along the edge and go slowly, especially around the corners and sharp turns. And that's it! You've closed up the opening and at the same time added a clean finishing stitch all the way around the edge. This step not only secures everything in place, but also makes the crown shape stand up beautifully. Now it's pom-pom time. For every size I need 7 pom-poms. For this project I am using pink ones, so I'm gathering up 7 pink pom-poms. Like I said at the beginning, this step is totally optional, but I think it really completes the look. To sew the pom-poms on, I'm of course using hand stitching. I grab a matching thread and a needle. After threading the needle, I make a big knot at one end. Then I pass my needle through the very tip of the crown. Pull it through the knot loop and tighten it so it locks in place. After that, I sew through the pom-pom a few times, going back and forth. And then use the tail end of the thread to tie a knot and secure it. I sew each pom-pom on one by one and oh my gosh, it turned out so cute! And that's it, our crown is all finished. I love how this turned out. It's such a simple project, but it really looks so special. Whether you add pom-poms or keep it plain, it's just such a fun little piece for birthdays, dress up, or even just everyday play. I hope you enjoyed sewing along with me. If you make your own crown, I'd love to see it, so feel free to tag me on Instagram. And if you haven't already, check out my butterfly wings tutorial too, because they pair so perfectly with this crown. Thanks so much for watching! Don't forget to like and subscribe if you want to see more sewing projects. I've got lots of fun patterns coming your way. See you next time!